Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Delray Beach. It's beautiful. The water is nice. Okay, I'll be working while you guys are watching the ocean.
fold it. Okay, ice. Right? We got one more.
Yeah.
We might be getting, we don't have no metal over here. Yeah, this is only the, fiberglass I put in there. We can't start from that side, just in case we need it, just drive over and cut it over here.
Yeah.
Because the can before was going all the way to the end. Let's get it started from that side over there, much better.
Okay. Let's slide the drop glass down. Yeah.
You didn't know that shit, look.
Huh?
I forgot about that shit, it's going all the way to the end.
Beauty, bro.
Getting on pretty easy shit. That's good. We got a bunch of clips we got in here.
Okay, few, but not bad. Okay, might as well do a rundown. Grab some molds. Grab them. There.
Es mi vida. No, yo ya ando aquí haciendo los detalles que están cambiando el aire y estoy pidiendo la pieza de... Sí, porque hasta allá con el instalador aquí cortando con el motor abajo y luego ahí estoy y yo los tiempos y no me quiere claro y vamos. Y quiero lo echa abajo, ¿verdad? Y quiero lo echa abajo, ¿no? Porque estos tubos que el dinero, ¿no? Algo así. Ah, es ese, los dos tubos esos. Para echar en el piso. Y como ahorita vamos a cortar, ya vamos a cortar las dos, tres piezas como en el trabajo y este fue con la cortadora, a veces lógicamente lo estamos tratando de quitar como yo quiero un pelo fue. Y ya luego otra vez utilizando esa, luego está dando el material. Sí, ¿verdad? Oh, ahí está eso, yo no lo he visto. Sí, dijo Giovanni, va a comprar el regular del Facebook, me dijo. Yo ahorita digo, voy a dejar que me dormí, Giovanni está cansado, dice. Sí. Así dice, Guerrero está cansado. De hecho, sí. Sí, ahí lo vemos en la ventana allá en el ópalo, pero por como sí, algo se dijo, pero no sé. Oh, sí, algo me dijo, ahí sí no lo entendí muy bien, pero como me dijo mañana, hacerme la pintura, pensará que yo aquí, allá, o así. Mañana voy a tratar de hacer todos los detalles que hay, ¿no? Vamos por un vehículo que manda allá abajo, ¿no? Y yo no lo llamaba por la puerta, la de entrada del bar de abajo, no va a ir quitada por otro
Want 'em on the
lado.
bar?
Solo la cejita y la mitad del bar, porque hay que quitar la brocha. Y sí, ese se va a hacer con la
You are the one and two.
Oh, we're gonna start this in?
Yeah. No, right? No,
Yeah, we're gonna
that's
start
not
this in.
Yeah.
Ya, pues ya quedó ya bien.
Okay, you do some good work, I'll do up and down.
Huh? Yeah, no, but I'm hoping, you know. Let me figure it out. You gotta work it out.
Sí, no, y los escalones. Sí, ya pensado, los lugares, y quedó dando el control, quedó muy feo por la escalera de los cielos. Quedó todo cargoso, polvo, y quedó gordito. Bueno, ya eso quedó para las 2:30, creo. Ya sin ver. Ya luego al siguiente día fue que pusimos el papel, está el papel ayer, se le pegó mucho el papel, hay que limpiarle con agua. Otra rodeada de los escalones. Sí, pero se veía muy feo, sarnoso, que todo ahí estuviera limpiada, ¿ves? Y yo estaba dejando pintado, se va a ver así, que no. Y ya después que lo escuché, es otra cosa, oigan. Ahorita vimos otra pantalla, salimos a las 6:30 para que hoy tuviera seco, pues ya es. Ahora que duerma bien porque ya mañana va a trabajar. Duerma bien porque ya mañana trabaja. Ah, ¿se ve? Ah. Y él dice, pues, que supuestamente desde ayer, ¿no? Que duerma otros días. ¿Por qué me enseñan? A ver. Está todavía, dice, Lo conectamos, va a funcionar. El cable.
What are you just cutting off the hole?
Yeah.
get it out.
Yeah, the bottom, be careful to do that.
Yeah, and the low one is always put it three, you know?
Yeah, that's the bottom.
Other way you get it. I started giving you guys top tips.
Is everybody enjoying the live? Who's here? Yeah, it is a nice view. Hi, Dakota. Hi, Riley. So I'm working, so I can't comment too much. Just check in with the view. Hey, I got a couple commenters. Nice view.
Oh, you could
Watch my hand.
Yeah, let me watch that. Let me put a blue tape in here.
That's why Bro, the day we had a problem out of 140 doors, and it couldn't be resolved, let's say there's screw compressors, control systems, electronics, they wanted to do that. Didn't matter which company started.
Wojciula did.
Yeah. They knew for years. Bro, and they bought a system from Europe called the Young system, and they put it in resources, nobody can depend on it. But because I knew the basics of all the electronics and programming, I learned the system in the day. First time in the day. And that's why they knew what their engineers were the one who had it. When they were mad, when I got counties, they were calling every company from where I went. And I did some work for them in some AMPs. They couldn't keep running, they couldn't keep the screw compressors running. So I worked for another company for like 250 cash a day, and it still wasn't enough. But then when I had to open up the company, I left my own food without nothing. We're talking walked out. 3 million gallons walked out. All it took, it's a long story. I could fix it. So he only said, wait, I got this one piece of steel. I got this one steel.
Everybody was Steve.
Yeah, but so my sister's a bookkeeper, but she's here in Florida, working for the president, right? So I met her. So she moved into the with her. For that company, I bought. She goes to the book, and because it was heavy, she finds the city that here. Because the price is furnished. And even if it's finished, I didn't got this one now. But I still kept on working. Because also I see the opportunity, right? So, then and
You guys make a lot of money over there.
yeah, 1 year we started 12 million. That's why we should have all been, that's why then my sister started looking. And that's it, that was the, okay, so. The other way. Full distance.
The wall is too big, you know?
Yeah.
I sold the job, just the rack systems. 550 horsepower rack systems. Cost me $250. I sold them, but installed,
Yeah.
but it's not all the piping because there's A-side piping and racks for $750. Then I sold all the cases because it was a superstore for like another $500. Then remote control panels, all damn far shit, everything.
Yeah, but what we do is take it down.
Bro, I would sit at home at night sometimes till 2 in the morning, making up the posters, nobody told me to make up. There's no systems that don't customers that I knew needed equipment, they didn't want to spend the money. Guess what? I had everything priced long before they even spent the money. And finally get it, and 170 here, 180 there, 250 there. And I lost them. My uncle be mad when I lose some of the Spanish stores because they want us to do it our way, right? Because some guys, Spanish guys that come along, that install it, slam them, and then they go to the Dominican Republic. You're different. In other words, right?
Yeah.
So to do it our way with the right controls, all the sensors, it's more money. And my uncle be mad, oh, I can lose that. But take that, we don't want to lose it. Neither do I. But at the same time, I know, even if I propose the cheap way to do it, in the end, for me to get it to work right and not have a lot of service calls, I gotta put it in control. Like, and then we still even use the equipment. We got sources. That's why I pulled out a lot of used equipment out of auction supermarkets. Like, bro, me and a Spanish guy in one day, from a mezzanine motor, you know what semi-hermetic compressors are, right? They're Copelands and carriers that are, everything's rebuilt,
Yeah.
right? 30 compressors down in one day. Bro, the two E350 layered with compressors, heavy ones on the bottom. And then the control panels for the racks, 3 big racks, long ones. This tall, shop, then the guy didn't want to sell us any of it. But then the auctioneer realized he couldn't just sell us the compressors, he needed the steel frames empty so they could move them. So what do? At the last minute, like 4 o'clock, cut off the control panels. And we're talking huge wires, everything is huge, because they're like 300, 400, 500 amp racks. Chop it all up and stick the panels on top of the compressors. All the spoiling valves, which are suction valves with suction stop and pressure control, chop them all with the ball valves and everything. Stores later on, you need a ball valve and solenoid, I got fucking milk crates of them. So all the old shit box stores we had problems with, now we have fucked them in cheap fucking parts. And they were all discus. So we had old stores that didn't have discus compressors. So now when the compressor went dead, spray paint,
And put it back in there.
and but so sometimes when you do that, the valves, why you can't convert an old system to a new discus is with the service valve. Everything's expensive, it starts to add up, the oil level regulator. But once you got it off track, you got everything on.
Wow.
It's literally just fucking repipe the pipes, and you got it all fresh in. Bro, we made money
Damn,
off
you
of
got
it.
a fucking huge
Bro, and you
business,
know how
man.
much we got for that? We blew a train in a truck that day. Bringing that shit back. The tires looked flat on two E350s in Jersey. Brought it all the way back to Long Island. One transmission was toast the next day. But, that shit only cost us $5 grand. And we made money from that shit for fucking 2, 3, 4 years.
Shit.
Till we got him off the shelf.
You guys got making a lot of fucking money.
That's why so I had a company in my name so we had a union guys and non-union, and in New York, you can't run union and non-union.
Oh, no?
No, they'll fine you and threaten to pull all the guys from your shop.
And what they want, you just everybody from the union is gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
So, and it adds up. So I was president, owner of another company for just the union guys after a while.
Oh.
And then he wanted another company to do the accountant a favor for a duck guy from Turkey to get his papers. So I did another company with him under it with an H-1B.
Oh.
Then my uncle, so we have so much cash, but we use it to pay everybody overtime. So everybody loves overtime, but it's fun to cash. So then I got accounts in my name, and some of them are just for payroll and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then I see under American Energy Group, he's got, he's flushing cash in there and giving it to his kids. That accounts in your fucking name, bro. And it ain't claiming no income, that company, like it's just really like a shell.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So my sister spotted that.
You found out.
So, but it was a bunch of other things. She couldn't believe how they got to a point where fucking just were assholes to me at night. Because I got a deal in July 2003, after not being in trouble for 13 years, and I had to take 6 weeks off to retire. After that, me and my uncle had to run the shop all the way from 95 to 2003. Now his wife's got an input. Now the secretary's got an input. Now the dispatcher all of a sudden knows more than me. So in 2003, I said, I'm just gonna do my job. That's it. 2009 come around, we made my sister cry one day. Kim, the bookkeeper, because of some family shit from my grandpa and my stepfather. Makes her
Oh,
cry.
you guys come from New York?
Well, we were born there, but we grew up in Massachusetts, and, because that's where they all are now. So then, I put that there, just walked away from it all. And his customers, the cash ones, begging me. But I wouldn't take them for cheap. My uncle had them too cheap, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting your store for $900 a month. No, no. But 2 or 3 years later, they started to come around, and a lot of them, a lot. That's why if it wasn't for COVID, and I see, so this is what pissed me off about New York: taxes, workman comp audits, all the audits. And they always saying I owe money and I don't owe nothing. And, so I'm tired of that. But then my license, so I'm like, why am I gonna keep on paying taxes to a fucking state that actually lied and made an agreement with me and they didn't stick to the agreement? I'm like, fuck that. And then the pandemic, I see that before it happened,
Yeah.
because I even warned Trump in like fucking October.
And they were charging.
I said, they're gonna lock down this fucking state and try to force everybody to take this shit. I'm not gonna be in a blue state when this happens.
And that's exactly what.
Yeah. And then, so all it took with my company was one of the brothers, and the brothers all owe me about combined like close to 30 grand, maybe even more. But I did a walk-in box installation. So I installed a 50-ton Husband rack, above 40 ton. And it's a protocol, it's made for the roof, so what it's got,
Yeah.
it's got all the compressors lined up
Mm-hmm.
on a small bullet receiver, so the receiver is under them like a big rack, but it's just a long bullet. And it's so oh no, it's on the condenser. It's not even that. It's just a metal frame, scroll compressors, oil separator, and an air force control panel. So this door had fucking equipment from the 80s, bro, that everybody had changed compressors on, all this shit. So where did I find that? I went to fucking Chicago to find that. So, because it was only 15,000, 40 horse rack with a Husband aluminum condenser or fan condenser with the receiver underneath it for 15 grand. I turned around and sold it to a cheap, 65 installed. Repiped the whole store with one big loop system, low temp loop, medium temp loop, right? Liquid and suction, 2-inch on each, 2, and then 7/8 an inch and an 8 liquid pipes. All big stuff, so it could be expanded. Put it all in, then he wants to add a walk-in box, and I piped in a lot of stuff for him. I worked overnight in the store, slept on rice, all sorts of shit, just to make the guy happy. I gave him a lot. And the electrician was expensive. He didn't want to pay the electrician no more. After they ran the main feed, they didn't want to run wires to all the solenoid valves everywhere, right? Or the sensor wires. So I run it all. I do the steel work. I told him steel's not included. I did the steel for the condenser. Another 2 grand out of my pocket. So everything keeps on nickel and dime. So I get to the last thing, a freezer, which the job's already done. And he's mostly paid for the bigger job, but he's beat me out of probably about 5 to 10 grand worth of extras. But that's all right in the grand scheme of things, because I always gotta keep my tool, because I'm getting a lot of work from him in the work. His wife asked me to put in LED lights in the new freezer after I wired the blower. I wired everything, changed the compressor on the rack so I could make sure I could handle it. I changed the 4 horse to a 6 horse, it was the smallest one.
Yeah.
And then I put in the lights, and they're paper tight, so I probably spent like 800 in materials, lights, and then I put in a door switch and a controller to shut off the fans and shut off the refrigeration when they open the door, all that. So I asked him for $800 extra for that, and he wants to fight. You know, I quit 13 stores within an hour of him fighting me. I said, you know, his brother's begging me not to go to New York. He begged. And I told him, because I didn't want no hard feelings, not too hard, I told them all. I said, you know what? Your stores are a lot better than when I walked in, but you can still use to spend money. Keep the fucking 30 grand. Don't bother me. Find another contractor. I said, you save so much money. Go get the fucking best guy and pay the extra money. Go get someone that knows the control, because I put in control. I put in Emerson. I put in everything. The stores that nobody would put it in. Because I had all fucking parts from everywhere. I always had extra rebate doors. They're fucking $400 a pop. The CPU is $2,500 to control it. But the CPU from Danfoss to control the store, before, now it's changed. One CPU pro could control all the lighting, HVAC and refrigeration. And you could see pictures of everything. So it was easy for even an idiot to use. Pick refrigeration, pick suction, pick evaporators, whatever. And that's, so now what Danfoss did in the 2000s, they made it all separate. So you gotta buy a controller with an HVAC license, one with a refrigeration license, or the one with the lighting, or a multi-license. So it's like 3 grand for that type of controller now. But that controller can interface with square D panel, everything. In other words, you can convert any store to a Danfoss system.
why, girl, sometimes I look at what I'm doing now. I'm very disappointed.
Unbelievable, huge fucking job. That's what.
Oh, back off a little bit.
Oh, that's good, that's good. Nah, that's beautiful.
Oh, you're getting them ahead of time. Good thing.
Now we, later we don't have to come back. We get some more silicone down. Yeah.
Yeah, that worked out great with the silicone, because now we're so much closer to right on the money. Bro, I worked like a man. From 95 to 2003. Got a house, 2 beds, in 8 years. I'm out of jail in 93.
How many days you spend in there?
Oh, 90, oh, that was my only time.
Did you
2 years. A year and 3 months upstate, so part-time.
New York?
Yep. And then a year in work, so when I got, so I had one in the third floor, which is 16 for years, 60 months and 4 years. And I get into work for weeks, come to 14, 15 months, come down to the weeks. I get a job lined up at the Salvation Army doing maintenance. Can't do much. And then a girl, boy, they hit me, and you know what they said? Within all reasonable probability, Walter will not abide by the law. You can say that about anybody.
What a motherfucker.
And I had strike. You see my first parole officer from the Freeport, my wife's place. So that's why I'm so loyal to my first wife. She met me at the Salvation Army. She was a housekeeper. And she worked so hard to finish CIPP because I was traveling at 5 in the morning to get back to work with the success. And she bring me coffee, she bring me food, lunch, all this shit. Like even all the Spanish housekeepers, all the El Salvadorian girls, all looked out for the gringo. And all the white people in this place. We're talking 60 girls there, minors, administration, like, more than even 60 years. Yeah, that's why I was yeah, go on. You know what he does? He takes out his fucking dime and throws it on the table between us, bro. I'm like, thinking to myself, what is going on here? He's tempting me, see how crazy I am. But that guy turned out to be a really good guy. Because I he gave me his card. I'll never forget his name because he was a straight shooter. He knows that. You better make sure I'm the first one you call, because maybe if it's not serious, I can do something for you. You don't run anything like that. But that's after building a rapport. He seemed like even that apartment he came to see me in, he's seen over months' time. All of a sudden the apartment's redone, floors, walls, kitchen. He knew I wasn't playing any love. Working. Okay, we better try to be on the inside of that. It's just too much to be rough. More or great?
Falta mucho.
Hello, 1 million viewers.
Well, I need some water. We get some water. It's cool.
Yeah.
¿Quiere levantar la primera?
Okay, folks, have a great day. Bye, Dakota. Bye, Riley.